Hi there. So this is the second to the last video, possibly the third to the last video, and I'll explain that in the next video. But anyway, I am doing a project for Gay Pride Month. I am writing a gay pride story using my gay tarot cards. They're by Bursten and Antonella Platano. I don't know the deck all that well. I'm just trying to show how writers can use tarot as a way to unblock their creativity. So today we're going to do the end spread of the story. We have taken a guy named Sage and we have brought him from a closeted man, kind of a nomad drifter, to a man that's gone through a relationship and can now has now come out and has learned more about himself and what he needs to do going forward. So to begin, we are supposed to go to, hold on, supposed to go back to day 4, which it's the 3-act life spread from day 4, which for me was actually video 10. So just so that you know, it's actually video 10. We did a 3-act life, home, work, love, and money. And we did an act 1, 2, and 3. Now we have an act 3, 3, 6, 9, and 12, and that's what we are using here. Select the act 3 cards from that spread as signifiers and lay out vertically. So home, let me go back to this again. So the 3-act life. Home was the Man of Cups. Work was the Man of Pentacles. Love was the 4 of Wands reversed. And money was the Ace of Swords. So I'm going to put those that way. Again, I will put this spread on my Instagram and my website after I'm done with the videos. I am almost done, and I'll have more on that on the last video, which is coming up next. So now we're going to do the spread. So we've got fan out the remainder of the deck and select 2 cards for each signifier. Read the 2 cards as the internal and external factors and events leading to the outcome at the end of the book. These are in the final scene. Now, these cards are not spread throughout the story. These come after the climax for the final scene. Through editing, necessary buildup should be added so these can make sense. So these may not make any sense at this point in time, but let's see what comes up. I think I already shuffled these because I wanted to save time, but I'll just do one more for good measure. Okay, so they say fan out. I'm not going to fan out. I am just going to pick from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so for home, got the Fool and the 2 of Swords reversed. I'm not sure if if this is the final scene, like what the spread says, he's obviously going to find something new. He's going on a new adventure. And a decision does not need to be made at this point in time. Fires from his past. he's putting out. This, I mean, he's facing toward the future. Something of that nature. Man is the Knight of Wands, fiery. He might be putting out fires because his family didn't quite know who he was, or he didn't know who he was, kind of a thing. I don't remember how I interpreted this card at the very beginning, but that could be an option. So for work, we have the Man of Pentacles. I know that he is a nomad, and the Man of Pentacles is slowing down, and he actually finds a more stable job, which I think is actually kind of making sense because he's slowing down with the Eight of Pentacles, kind of being a perfectionist, staying indoors, finding out what he truly likes, perfecting himself, and also being the Magician reversed. Instead of the feeling if he can do anything, which he can still do anything. Now he can turn the magician part of his mind off and actually focus on what he really truly wants to do, instead of just being a jack of all trades and just bouncing from job to job to job and being the master of all of his jobs. Now he can turn that part off and find a way how to become just the man that he wants, the man or / job that he wants, who and what he wants to be and do with his life. Slow down a little bit. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. For the love card, I might be reading this separately. Well, okay, we're going to rewind a little bit. So the internal for his home life is the Fool, which, again, he's going on a new adventure. The external is that a decision doesn't need to be made right now. That's still, my interpretation still stands. For work, internal still needs to do a lot of work on himself, perfect himself, see what he wants to do. External, yeah, it's still maybe I am reading this right still correctly. Just he doesn't need to be jack of all trades anymore. He can decide what he wants to do now and turn off some of the sparkles and actually tell people no. He can actually tell people no. Tell his friends who's been giving him jobs, just these podunk jobs, and making him be a nomad. He can actually tell them no and go forward and do what he wants to do. For love, internal, he's definitely hurt from Guy and this breakup. It's obviously a death. There's obviously a little bit of fire that's died within him. But I think he's unplugging from that. That's kind of what the plug is. I think that that's his internal. External is that he doesn't need to be as rigid with his future loves. He doesn't need to be as, or he might be blocked. The Emperor is all about stability and how being a perfectionist and making sure things stand on their own and not breaking the rules or breaking the script. But this is reversed. So I kind of wonder if maybe the external is he needs to allow himself in order to not be as strict with himself, kind of a thing. He can be a little bit more fluid in what he wants to do with his life and not put so much pressure on himself, kind of a thing. Again, we had the Four of Wands for that, which is 2 4s, kind of interesting in that whole situation. So now we've got the money part, which is all kind of making sense here. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got internal is the intuitive, which is the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess is the number 2. But this is reversed. So internally, I think his intuition is blocked internally for money because he doesn't know what he wants to do yet. I think now that he has come to a point in a crossroads where he can be the fool and where he can take the time to be by himself, or to perfect himself, and where he doesn't need to be the jack of all trades anymore. I think he's not as intuitive with himself anymore, but that's something that he can change, something that he can work on. External is temperance, reversed. So I think that with this card, if it were like this, temperance is external and temperance is kind of like being comfortable. Comfortable job, happy at your job. He's not, though. I think that he needs to put the work in to find out what his next journey is going to be, to find out what his job is going to be, to find out how he's not going to be the jack of all trades, and to be more intuitive with himself. So I kind of feel like he needs to turn off the temperance button, and he's going to need to externally kind of figure out where he fits in the world, in order to get the Ace of Swords, to get more of a thought and get that idea about what and who he wants to be as a gay man, in his new life. So that's kind of what I've got there. Yeah, so I'm going to just leave it at that. And again, I'll take a picture of this, and I am going to come back for one more video, possibly video 0.5, and I'll explain that why it's a 0.5 in the next video, because it's a kind of a doozy. So until next time, thank you.